Hey, what's up everybody? So this week I'm doing something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. I keep going on to all these forums for baritone guitars, extended range guitars, and everybody's talking about the Otto Audio 1111. Now I admit I'm a little behind the ball because this thing's been out for a while, but everybody swears it's like the most chunky, heavy thing that you can get for low range, low tuning guitars. So today I want to go through it, check it out, and see what all the hoopla's about. Alright, so here we have the front of the amp. It's a pretty standard setup here. From what I'm seeing, we got our gain, bass, metal, treble, you know, all the knobs that we'd normally expect. Let me pull down. There's also input, output. We got a couple banks here with drop downs. Not exactly sure what everything is because I literally downloaded this on the weekend, started kind of poking around at it, didn't really get too far, and now I'm just kind of running through it with you guys. One of the cool features about this plugin is it does have the ability to not only run mono and stereo, but there's this like stereo effect, and they call it the wall of sound. It's basically like a stereo delay effect that basically widens your sound like really wide, and I've played with it a little bit. It's not my cup of tea per se, but I could see where it would become handy in a mix situation, or if you're just trying to figure out what your guitar would sound like, you know, coming through a stereo field without, you know, having that chorus effect. So one of the things I noticed about this amp, it's pretty cryptic in how they've labeled everything. For instance, if you go to the cab section by clicking here, you'll see that all the cabinets are just labeled by number, and I think that's by design. I think they really are emphasizing the fact that you need to use your ears when you're using this plugin to really dial in your sound, and we'll see if I can do that a little bit. I'm pretty sure this drop down here is the amp sims themselves, or the amp models that they're modeling after. Basically, I think this is where all the amp models actually exist, and I don't know what these even mean. I mean, these are very, like I said, cryptic. Over here, I'm pretty sure these are the presets that come preloaded. One thing that I noticed about this is there are a lot of presets, like a ton, like more than I could even go through in an hour. So I'm just going to go poke around and see what I can find. If there's anything cool, maybe I'll find it. So here's the default tone that they have preloaded. And I think that's pretty beefy to begin with. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. That could easily go in a mix. So let's go to the amp match. This might be a JCM 900 Mark II. That's probably a Mesa Boogie of some sort. Wrecked of Fire. Wrecked of Fire. I'm pretty sure that's a rectifier. Let's click on that guy. That does sound a lot like a rectifier. Maybe a little bright, but still. Wait, let me do something real quick here. So rectifier, blah blah blah. So it's using the black amp. Let me go to that Mark II and see if that also uses the black amp. It does. So Mark II. Hold on. So the black amp might be the Mesa Boogie style amp that they use for all the presets that are Mesa style. What is that? Shifty 150. Okay, so that must be a 5150 style. Let's see what that sounds like. It's definitely got that compressed, you know, bottom end with that really like searing high end stuff. Okay, so 1992, that makes sense. Block letter, so this is probably a block letter 5150. So let's go back to that JCM. Let's see if that's actually a Marshall sounding thing. What does that amp say? Measured gray. That literally means nothing to me. Let's see what it sounds like. Oh, so this has that stereo expand thing going on. Let me go to just mono. That very much has that Marshall crunch sound. Measured gray, I don't know. Maybe MG, because, you know, they have the MG series, MG Marshall something something. Sure, let's go with that. No, this is actually cool. I mean, there's actually a lot of versatility here. I haven't really dug into this yet. They have bass presets, so if you're a bass player, I think this is built for doing both guitar and bass. They have a whole bank of just baritone stuff. I'm gonna get into that a little later. I don't know what any of this is. Heavier M2. Let me go back to mono. That almost sounds like a, what would that? Almost sounds like a guitar pedal in front of an amp, or like maybe you're playing through like a combo amp or something. Let me go through a couple others here. Let me go to mono. Doesn't sound too bad though. Kind of gives me that like it's almost got like so much smaller sounding amp profile, and I'm pretty sure they have in these cab sections. I think there are actual like 212s and even like 112s, like combo amp style cab sims. You know, that actually kind of reminds me of like the Metal Zone style tone. Not in a bad way, but like, you know, you're just getting that like real gritty thing going on. Okay, so Otto Audio has their own, so they have 3 separate banks of their own presets. Anything cool looking? Black Album, let's see. I'm assuming that's like a Metallica reference. I can see that, yeah, for sure. I would say less Black Album, maybe more Master of Puppets. It's got more of that older style thrash tone, I think. It's not quite as beefy as like some of the tones on the Black Album. It's got more of that thrashy, fast feel to it. Let's see what else we got here. I mean, these names are just like giving me nothing. Misa Jaja. Okay, so there's no Star Wars amp out there that I'm aware of, but it's got the black amp on it. Maybe Misa is, you know, Mesa, but like someone's just being cute. I don't know. Sounds very Mesa-like, and it's got that stereo feature on it. Let's turn that off. Ooh, that's got some low-end heft. That is beefy. Okay, let's go to Bank 2. Massive. Oh, they got a Bass 5, a Baritone. I might have to check that out when I get my my 30-inch scale going. That's interesting. Brutal. La 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 la. Okay, what does that sound like? I think I like that one the best so far. That one is super chuggy. And that's the stock, or I guess it's the standard 1111 amp that they have loaded in here. I like that a lot. Okay, what else? Man, there's a lot here. Let's go to 3. What do we got here? 2121. Maybe that's like Rush. I don't know. I mean, I don't know any Rush, but. I mean, I can see that though. That's got like a real mid-forward kind of proggy sound. They got some low gain things. I've seen some clean things in here. I'm not really looking to go there. Firmament. Isn't that like a flat earth thing? Firmament? Like the firmament on the earth? Now I'm just talking trash. Oh, that's cool. That's kind of a lower gain kind of thing going on. Ooh, maybe it's like... Oh, I wonder if it's like a dig at Stephen Carpenter, Firmament. It's kind of got a Deftones kind of sound. I could hear that being kind of Deftones-ish. That's cool. Don't know if it's really a Deftones thing, but I do kind of like that lower gain sound going on there. Let's see, what's this? Hit harder. That one's pretty cool. Although that one to me kind of sounds a bit like that Misa Jaja one a little bit. It is good though. It's a I think it's a different amp. Yeah, it is a different amp. Still cool. Dig it. Let's go into the cab section because I was kind of curious about how drastic some of these cab sims might actually be, and I'm going to use the Hit Harder preset here. It sounds okay. Actually, it sounds really good. Let's go to cabinet 1 and see what we got. I like that cabinet better for this amp. Okay, so that, I mean, that sounds like a 412 as well. Ooh, that is very dark. Very scooped. So basically, you know, the interface here allows you to run through the cabs just by, you know, clicking on these arrows. It looks, you know. A lot of variation in the amp sim, or the cab sim. Yeah, see, then you get some things that sound more like 212s, smaller amps, maybe, you know, a combo or something. What is this? Okay. And there's 23 of them, jeez. And like I said, you don't know what any of these speaker types are. You don't know what any of the microphones are. So it's all pretty much like, use your ears. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, getting very, very smaller cab sounding. 22. There's 22. So I really like the cabinet 1 that I clicked on. I can see myself using that at some point. The other cool thing here, which is kind of unique, I haven't seen this before, is these impedance curves that they have, and it allows, from what I can discern, it's kind of like how open the mid-range really is. I'd have to go back and look at the website to say exactly what this is supposed to do, but when you go through it from curve 1 to curve 9, there's a pronounced shift in like that mid-range kind of body of the whole thing. So at, you know, at impedance level 1, you know, and then let's go to like 5, and then let's go to 9. it just like gives you more of the whole thing. So yeah, I mean it's really cool and versatile. So let's go to the other aspect of this amp, which is I've seen on other plugins, but this one is actually probably my favorite so far, from what I've seen of it and what I've gotten to kind of poke around at. And that is the back of the back of the amp itself. There's a lot of knobs, but they all do something, and they're all really effective at what they do. Like, so you know, we have a power tube selection. If you want to go to the 6L6, you know, instead of the KT88. So it's there. And then one of the features that I was kind of messing around with when I first got it was this resonance feature on the cabinet. It really allows you to open up kind of the feel of the cabinet. So that's really nice. And then amplitude is basically just how much of the power amp is going, you know. It's almost like having an output on the cab separate from this one. And then we got a couple knobs here, snarl, sag. Sag is cool because if you want a little bit looser sounding gain, or if you want to tighten it up, it's there. Bias basically is just how much saturation you're getting from the tubes. I'm not exactly sure what feedback is. I think it's just the level of like maybe harmonic resonance you get from the actual amp sim itself. And then snarl is just, you know, do you want more grit? And it's all there. So really cool feature. It has a gate. It also has this this mod feature. So there's like a modified version of the amp, an orange version that's supposed to sound different from the 1111. I haven't really figured it out or seen if it's like super noticeable yet, but I'll play with it a little bit later on. Then there's this punish knob, which just gives you a little bit more oomph. 10 dB boost and then a low boost. So a lot of features on this thing that you can kind of tweak and mess with. Before I get to the low tuned guitars, because I really want to pull out my baritones. Right now I'm running my Charvel SoCal 2. It's in drop C, so it's a little bit chuggy. I got the Fishman Fluff pickup here. You know, I just wanted to see what a normal, you know, kind of range guitar kind of did with this thing. And before I get into those baritones, I kind of want to go in and dial in a tone with this guitar, throw it into a mix, and see what I get. So I'll be right back. Okay, so that to my ears is probably one of the easiest and best mix-ready tones that I've actually worked with. Just using my ears and going off of the default setting on this particular amp, I was able to, scroll through the cabs, find a cab I liked. It was pretty quick and easy. The only real tweaking I did was on the back of the amp, where I upped the resonance on the power amp section and kind of fattened it up. Most everything else was already pretty much where I liked it. So now I want to get over to the baritone guitars, because that's kind of what this amp has been touted as being like, this is what it's made for. Really low, heavy, chuggy stuff. Okay, so now I have my LTD 27-inch baritone. It's a VB300. I got Seymour Duncan, Nazgul, and Sentient pickups in the guitar itself. And now let's see what this thing does for low tones. Let's just go to the default real quick and see what that sounds like. Alright, I get it. I think this is definitely got some sauce for the low tone stuff. Let's go to the actual baritone bank of tones here. They have, I'm going to assume that's 9-string hammer, not 9-string hummer. Big split hum, dingus tone, future junt. I'm not much of a junter, but let's see what that sounds like. So yeah, that's pretty tight. A little less bright than I was expecting, but it's chunky. Slug. This one's also in stereo now. That's really quiet. That's really like low. Let's see here. Wow, okay. That is super, like, just woo, woo, woo. Very resonant. Let's go to that 9-string hammer. Let's see what that sounds like. I like that a lot. That is pretty cool. I'm getting too close to the mic. I'm going to be doing ASMR pretty soon. Every chord is fire. Well, I'll be the judge of that. Again, we're back in stereo mode. Let's go to mono. It's kind of hard to make the Nazgul sound terrible when it's got so much low-end girth, firm lows. Oh, that's nasty. That's got some, like, I don't know what to call that. I like it, but it's different. Here, let's try the dingus tone. That just sounds funny. Okay, I mean, there's not a whole lot of baritone tones dialed in here, but I'm sure it sounds fine with other things. Let me go back to, what was that one I really liked? Hit Harder. So, I mean, that just kind of sounds like one of those other ones that was in the baritone thing. Maybe a little bit more low-end mid, so it's a little bit more muddy with the baritone. Either way, yeah, this thing probably has more girth in the low end than any of my other plugins that I've kind of dealt with. And and there's nothing wrong with that, because I was obviously able to get a pretty tight, normal metal tone out of it, not being super low tuned. By the way, this is in G sharp, so it's not like the lowest of the low, but it's down there. Okay, I want to move on to my 30-inch scale, bass 6 style, that I basically use as a baritone, and see what this thing does with that. That also has passive pickups in it. So yeah, let's go. Alright, so I have this guy. This is a 30-inch scale bass 6 style guitar. I use it as a baritone, but I basically keep it tuned like a bass 6 and drop D1. It has bare knuckle juggernauts installed. So let's see what this thing does. I'm still using the Hit Harder preset. That's cool. Let's go to those baritones presets and see what they sound like. I like that 9-string hammer. Let's see what that sounds. Sounds like the same. maybe once you get to a certain degree of down tuning, it all just sounds alike. No, that's a little bit tighter actually. Let's go down to that dingus tone. This is in stereo, so let's see what this sounds like. That's cool. I like that a lot. I mean, I like all of this. This is all pretty cool. Firm lows. Very crunchy. Bass 6 baritone right there. What does this sound like? Oh wow, that's more like a crunchy distorted bass tone. That might be kind of cool to kind of mix in behind something, just to give it a little more girth. You know, it's not super saturated, it's not super gainy, so... I probably wouldn't use that for a main tone, though. This punch E. I just want to find something that sounds different. Tight. Or tight. What is it? Okay, or tie sledge? I don't know. T11E sledge. It all sounds good. So I think what I'm going to do now is take another break, go dial in something with this guitar, this 30-inch. I might actually already have a track loaded up that I can reamp or at least play with on this and see what I get, and then I'll come back. So in that mix, I ended up using a blend of 3 different presets from the baritone bank of tones that they had. I used 2 main tones, blended together, sent out to a stereo bus that I could use to have better control. And actually, let me pull up that console real quick. So the first tone, the main tone that I'm building off of is the healthy lows. The only thing I really did to it was kind of up the resonance to get a little bit more girth. Everything else is pretty much as is. And then going over to the secondary tone, which I have blended almost up to the same level, but just scaled back a little bit. It's the 9-string hammer. Again, up the resonance on the cab. Everything else pretty much standard. And they sound pretty good. The other thing that I did is I used a separate track with the slug, you know, that very low kind of girthy tone. I used that stereo wall of sound feature to record it as a mono track and then kick it out and then bring up just a little bit of girth behind the main guitar tracks. And it kind of blends in really well with the bass guitar, which is in the center. So let's go ahead and listen to the guitar tracks without that third tone mixed in, so you get a sense of what that sounds like. I'll play it again with the third low tone up underneath, and you can see what that sounds like. Okay, so you can hear that blend. It's not super heavy in the lows. It kind of sits kind of up in the mids and the highs. So let's add in that low tone and back it up a little bit, and you can kind of hear what that sounds like. Alright, so yeah, you can hear the difference, hopefully. And, you know, that just kind of a cool little trick for mixing. You want to get a little bit more girth, but you don't want to really muddy out the main track, because, you know, your main guitar track, if you have too much low end, it can really kind of mess with the whole EQ as a whole. And so just having the ability to kind of separate out kind of two different levels of EQ, it's kind of fun. I think it sounded pretty good. Anyway, so that's my run through of the Otto Audio 1111. There's like 3 11s in here, but I think it's advertised as the 1111. So I'm probably gonna pick it up. I think it's half off right now, and for 50 bucks, like, it's as good as you could probably get for this kind of stuff. So thanks for watching. Check you out later.